What if a single object could completely shatter our understanding of human history?
We tend to think of the past as a straight line, a slow, steady march from primitive ignorance to modern enlightenment. We believe that we are the apex of technological and intellectual achievement. But then, the Earth gives up a secret, and the timeline breaks.
This story begins with a question that neither archaeologists nor theologians can fully answer. It is the story of a relic pulled from the dust of the ancient Near East. It is exactly 2,000 years old. Yet, it possesses a characteristic that, according to everything we know about the ancient world, simply should not exist. It is an object of absolute, impossible perfection. A perfectly smooth, mathematically flawless sphere, cast in gold. But the mystery is not its shape. The true enigma lies encoded within its very atoms. When modern scientists placed this artifact under a mass spectrometer, they expected to find the usual traces of ancient metallurgy, tiny fragments of lead, copper, or silver trapped within the matrix. Instead, they found a void. The artifact is composed of gold refined to a purity of 99.99%. To understand why this is terrifying to historians, we have to understand the limits of the ancient world. 2 millennia ago, humanity did not possess the chemical agents, the advanced thermodynamics, or the electrical refinement processes required to strip away microscopic impurities. To convert lower purity gold items into something absolutely pure requires exact manual calculation formulas. It requires a deep understanding of elemental weights, deliberate oxidation, and a mastery of fire that borders on the miraculous. It is an intricate, unforgiving operation. A single miscalculation, and the metal is permanently contaminated. By all known historical accounts, achieving this level of elemental isolation was physically impossible for a civilization relying on charcoal and clay crucibles. And yet, here it is. The real question, the one that bridges the gap between science and the human soul, is why? Why dedicate an unimaginable amount of time, resources, and intellectual brilliance to create an object whose perfection cannot even be seen by the naked human eye? To the mind of an ancient human living 2,000 years ago, gold was not a currency. It was theology in physical form. Everything degrades. Iron rusts, wood rots, flesh decays. Everything, except gold. Gold does not tarnish. You can bury it in the acidic mud of a riverbed for 1,000 years, and it will shine exactly as it did the day it was forged. To the ancient philosophers and early mystics, this was proof of the divine. Gold was the sweat of the sun, the flesh of the gods. It was the one piece of the eternal realm that had somehow fallen into our decaying, mortal world. The act of extraction and burning away impurities in a furnace was not a business operation. It was a sacred ritual. The ancient metallurgist looked at a piece of unrefined ore and saw a reflection of the human condition. We too are born impure. We are bound by fear, greed, mortality, and suffering. But just as the metal could be placed into the fire, its flaws burned away until only the incorruptible essence remained. Perhaps the human soul could undergo the same transformation. They believed that if they could isolate the divine element, if they could remove every single microscopic flaw, they would essentially be holding a piece of heaven in their hands. It was a physical manifestation of a spiritual crisis. Today, this golden sphere sits behind bulletproof glass in a climate-controlled museum. Scientists continue to debate its origins. Some claim it is evidence of a lost, highly advanced civilization. Others argue it is a fluke of geology or a forgotten chemical technique. But as you look at it, resting silently in the modern world, it forces you to look inward. We are still trying to extract something pure from the chaos of existence. The artifact remains unexplained, but it leaves us with an echoing, inescapable question. If an ancient mind could look at the dirt of the earth, and through sheer force of will, Extract something entirely immortal? What is lying dormant within us, waiting for the fire?